Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my astrology and psychic reading on Johnny Depp, where we'll look at his chart, we'll go through his chart, and I've got a little bit of psychic insights as well that I've been getting on him. And perhaps if I've got time, if it's not too long a video, I'll even do a card reading as well for Johnny for the future. So as always, I will show you his chart. So it's why I like doing these readings on Zoom so that I can then share the screen, show you this chart and show you where I'm talking about. And it's sort of, hopefully it helps you to understand astrology more as well. So let's share the screen and get into the chart reading. So okay, so Johnny Depp, he does have I just close some of those. Okay. So Johnny Depp, he's an ascending Leo. He's 0 degrees Leo. I do have his time at being 8:44. That's what I got off the internet. And his birthday, the 9th of June, 1963. And he's born in the US. So an ascending Leo. So the way he comes across is very charismatic, big heart, that, he does come across, I guess, as having some sort of ego, but he's I also find that he's very likable. Like I feel like he's a very likable character. And you see that, I feel like you see that. And he's also a Gemini sun. Donald Trump is also ascending Leo and a Gemini sun, but I feel like with the moon signs and other things in Trump's chart makes him the way he is. Johnny Depp's a different character. He's got some elements here that ground him more, but I feel like with him, I feel like Johnny Depp is a bit more humble. So, and I feel like we can see that, especially with his moon sign. So, he does come across as that charismatic character though. And he's also a Gemini, which also helps him. So Geminis is someone that are they're fun loving, they're social butterflies, they love to learn, they're really good at networking, Geminis. They're like a jack of all trades, a masters of none. So they always want to learn more. They never feel like they've learned enough or whatever it is that they are doing. They want to know different things. So we see with Johnny, like he does music. He also does movies and acting. And I'm sure behind the scenes, there's a lot more that he does able to do. He's also got a Capricorn moon. So with that Capricorn moon that he's got, this also helps him to be very structured, very organized, business-like. It also, he could be someone who needs to control his environment, perhaps maybe goes on in his family. Very emotionally controlled, so he's able to hold on to his emotions. He's also very diligent, dependable with that Capricorn moon, and authoritarian, like he has authority. So, but he's very grounded and structured, which helps with that Gemini and even that ascending Leo. He's actually quite balanced. He is a bit of a helper, but he's a bit more he's a bit more stubborn. I will say that we've got more planets in fixed signs. But at the same time, there is a flexibility with him too. He sees his parents, so his dad he would see as that Gemini character in that friend's house. So perhaps he's someone who has good like a friendship, or sees his dad like a friend. And then the dad would be like a Gemini. So maybe he sees his dad as someone who's very outgoing, fun-loving, chatty, and very sociable and a networker. His mom, there'd be some sort of health issue with her. Maybe she looks after her health, or maybe she doesn't, or she's a very healthy person, but he'd see her as that Capricorn, perhaps see her as an authority figure, more like also than the dad, a strong lady, dependable, works hard, very structured. Like with Capricorn, even himself, he needs to follow rules. He would bend them if no one's watching, but he'd be very much like, oh, we're going to do things this way because this is how you do it. He'd be very structured, and he'd even be a little bit of black and white, a little bit, Johnny Depp. Just the way how he sees things. I am too someone of a Capricorn moon as well. though I could relate to him. I find him very likable myself, and I feel like that's just I like Geminis though. Geminis and Sagittarius, one of my favorite star signs. So, and then we've also got here we go to his personality. He has Mercury in Taurus, so for him, um, he'd be very fixed, like, in how he looks at things, like his outlook on the world. It's sort of he's a bit stubborn in that regards because Taurus are a very kind of stubborn people. They do have tunneled vision. Um, and he'd probably be very hard. Like he wouldn't be able to change his mind. Like once he's got his mind fixed on something, that would be for him. You can't change it. That's it. He's done. He's also where he thinks about money a lot. Like how can I make money, or how can I save money, or what finances. So that would definitely be how he sort of thinks, and even the way he's able to talk. I do feel like the sense of comfortable, charismatic as well. He's got Venus also in Taurus too with that. So with the Venus in Taurus, he likes partners that are a bit stubborn, but likes good music, likes good food, perhaps is good with money themselves. But yeah, he likes that woman that sort of Taurus lady or people who have Taurus traits is what he's drawn to in a partner. He's also got a Mars. His Mars is in Virgo. So Mars in Virgo, like he does able to pay attention to the smallest details, and he is hardworking, especially with that Capricorn moon. But he's someone. What makes him angry is like if I bring up those court cases with Amber Heard, how they're talking about the messes with the dog's feces and things like that, that would have definitely made him irate and angry because it's that Virgo. So if he someone comes and messes up his environment, it really would make him very angry. Or if he's made a mistake himself, like he doesn't like making mistakes and probably gets very hard on himself if he makes a mistake. But he'd be very like sort of nitpicky and perfectionist. So things that are messed up in that way, it would sort of make him a bit agitated, bit angry with that Mars in Virgo there. But he's actually very good dealing with leaders, though. I will say that he's very good dealing with leaders. He probably has a problem, I guess, with society or being told what to do. I feel like he has a problem with that kind of that sort of problems there. He's got a lot of squares with Venus here. So, and also Mercury. So Mercury and Venus square his Mars. So, look, I will say that could be there are arguments there with relationships and in financial aspects here. I've got three squares here when it comes to Mercury. He's not good with improvisation. If you said to him, look, just improvise this scene, he's probably not the best at that. He probably just needs to be given what he needs to script and stay on the script. But he's probably not good at talking his way out of problems either. Probably needs to be a bit more prepared. And there is also there is a hard transit. I'm again born with this, the square with Venus and Saturn. It's a hard transit. He has to work extra hard in his life when it comes to finances and relationships too. Okay. So, but he's got a Sun sextile Jupiter. So for him in life, things kind of just work out, even though he's got these other aspects. But for him in life, things kind of just work out for him. He's very lucky in that if you got someone that's got a sextile or a trine to Jupiter, they are very lucky people. Okay. Let's go with the planets. So with the planets, as always, if you want to say the diagram, this is like us on Earth, and then you've got your symbols here in the black. Inside the circle, there are your natal planets. My mouse, the natal planets here. And then you've got the outside, the star signs, and then we've got the outside planets where they are currently. I've actually got that in the wrong year because I was looking at that, which we will get to in a moment. So let me go back to 2024 till we're in October. I was just looking at a future which we will look into. Okay. All right, now with where the planets currently are. in October, or it's saying the 12th, but it's the 13th of October where I'm filming this. Okay, so in his second house, so he's not born with anything in that first house other than the ascending there. Then we've got in the second house here, we've got Uranus, we have Mars, and we have Pluto in the second house. So also having the Uranus and Mars close together, this can indicate unexpected strength or unexpected anger for him. Being in that second house, he'll have the way he earns his money in unexpected ways, and he gets unexpected opportunities in how he earns his money with that. The Mars, he gives him a lot of courage in this area. He probably has like good self-worth, and he probably knows how to get what he wants having that Mars in the second house too. Pluto in the second house, it's like he changes. I always say Pluto's like the phoenix. It changes. So like not only that he doesn't just do acting, he's a musician, does musician, so he plays instruments, plus he's also got the perfume deals. He has, and I'm sure there's many other things on the side that he has. I feel like he's doing more behind the scenes, so I feel like there's that too. He's not someone who just does the same thing in life. He's definitely has other stuff. His MC is in Aries, which he needs to be like a leader or like a boss or lead the way in his career as well. An aspect there. He's not born with anything in the 10th house. It's more in the earnings here. But that's what we get with those three planets in that second house. So nothing in the third. When we get to the 4th house here, which is the home and the family, he's got Neptune in this house. So Neptune could mean with a parent that he has a parent that is sort of like a vision of perfection, but at the same time, they can't be relied upon. So you might have a parent that's not really reliable with that Neptune being there, possibility of that's how that could play out, but also it's a dissolve in the family. So and it could be that things who don't stick with him becomes a family relationships. It's dissolving his sort of home family life. So that's that Neptune, and that happens throughout his life. I haven't done a lot of research on it. I never do a lot of research on them when I do these chart readings. I just simply do the chart reading. So perhaps in his early days, perhaps his parents didn't stay together. And what we've seen, he's now, I'm not sure if he's got someone now, but relationships for him hasn't really stayed together. But also, he's not born with any planets in the 5th or 7th, which doesn't help him when it comes to relationships either. In the we've got in the 6th house here, we've got the moon. So the moon's our emotions. He's probably someone who keeps his emotions in check, inside, doesn't want to show his emotions. But also having the moon in the 6th house here can indicate that he's someone that gets a bit sensitive when it comes to his health. Like if he might worry, like if it's got the slightest, scratch or stomach ache, he might be someone that thinks, oh no, do I have cancer? Like the mind goes wandering. When people have their moon in the 6th house, they sort of think the worst when they've got health issues. And I mean, having the moon in this house is not a bad thing, but you'll find people, they sort of overreact a little bit when they have their moon in their 6th house. It's their emotions, and they get a bit emotional about their health. So the 7th house is empty. We've got here on the 8th, we've got Saturn and we've got Chiron. Having Saturn here, it can be like a loss of money, or it can be like it just can be having a good flair for business, having Saturn here as well, because Saturn does rule Capricorn. But it could be that it's like a loss of a legacy here, like you inherit a legacy of some sort, but it's like doesn't really go according to plan, I feel. But with Chiron, but also with Saturn and with this Chiron here, especially Saturn as well, it's like, I know Britney Spears has Chiron in her 8th house too. These people have to be careful of people back in their life with money, because it's like they'll give money away, or people will be around them for their money, but they'll give money out or people want to borrow money off them and they don't get it back. Like I know I've got someone, I am someone who also has Saturn in my 8th house, and I've learned the hard way where, people will say they'll pay you back, and then you don't hear from them again. They don't pay you back. So um it's just problems with money basically. And it's pain, it's his emotional pain as well. Having that Chiron here, it's his emotional pain. So it's he's someone that should be keeping his money on track, managing it himself, and be careful who is helping him with his finances. So when we go to the 9th house here, we've got Jupiter in the 9th house. Jupiter is a planet of luck. This is where he has his luck in his life. 9th house is study, it's education, it's travel, it is spiritual, it's psychic. So he probably is very intuitive. He's probably open to spirituality, or I could probably talk to him about astrology if I wouldn't mind, if I want to learn it, perhaps. Travel for him, like luck with traveling. We've also got probably very smart, probably one of those people who doesn't have to study that much. He just gets things. And also being a Gemini, that he would just get things, having Jupiter there. So it is very lucky. So when we go to nothing in the 10th, the 11th house, which is his career, he does have it's pretty much conjunct there, Mercury and the Venus. That can indicate that he's always thinking about relationships and he's always thinking about money here. But having the sun here as well in this 11th house, this is the spotlight. Friends are very important to him. He loves his friends. He's a person that would find love through friends. And he likes to talk to his friends, that he feels most comfortable talking to his friends out of anyone in the world. But having the sun here, it just puts a spotlight. Like he's all about his friends than he is when it comes to romantic relationships. And then he has the true node or north node, true node in his 12th house. This is where we hide things. This house, it's like his life lessons kind of hidden, but it's also in Cancer. So it is like about his life lesson is about like nurture, and it's like the soul is learning to nurture and care about itself and those who are around it. Dealing with the 12th house, it's a lot of karma. So it's probably his life lessons deal with a lot of karma in this lifetime, having the node there in that 12th house. And like even right now, having that Mars opposite coming over that node, it could be a strength for him, or could be getting frustrated over his past, his life lesson, and just maybe reflecting on that with him. So that's kind of his natal planets, where they sit, what is happening now around him. He's got So in his career, he's got Uranus coming out of this 10th house. So he's had unexpected things happening in his career. He's got Uranus over that conjunction of Mercury and Venus. That's unexpected communication coming up for him, as well as something unexpected when it comes to relationships and finances, one or the other. So he does have that as a transit coming up earlier in the year. So if I went to around May this year, we had Jupiter over here. That would have been luck. So her had some good news come through, and then you also would have had either some luck with love, with relationships, or money. And when we say love, it's anyone that he loves, not just romantic. It could be anyone. At the moment, he's got that Jupiter's coming back. It's in retrograde. It's coming back over his sun. So he's actually got some really good energy coming up over his sun there, or luck over his life. That can last up to 3 years with that energy there. So he'll be feeling quite good about himself and the way things are at the moment around him. So soon, about within the next few weeks, we got Mars moving into that first house. It's a little transit, but it's going to retrograde in here. When it comes into this first house, he's going to feel either more confident, or he's going to feel a bit more angry about stuff. Okay. Jupiter, by June next year, it's going to come out of this 11th house. While it's in this 11th house, it is going to be being more social, meet new people, like meet new friends. Having that Uranus also coming into this 11th house, it is about him meeting, what could be meeting unusual people or unexpected, unusual things happening with friends around him. But it could be that he meets people who are a little bit different. It could be just things, weird things, unexpected things happen to him, or like, he meets different people in different ways. And that's going to be there for around about next 8 years. He's going to have the Uranus there, but by next June, Jupiter's going to be out. And then it will be in his 12th house. That's going to be more about health, so luck with health. And the same when it goes into this first house, it's like you're heading in the right direction. It's going to come down into this second house in 2027. When it's in May 2027, when it comes into second house, that's going to be luck with earnings and self-worth. He will get some sort of pay rise here. I will show you in a moment, but he will also have Chiron and Saturn come in at 10th. But at any day, anyway, he will have some sort of pay rise coming to him. But then also in that same year, 27, around July, August, he's going to have that Jupiter hit the Uranus and Mars. That's going to be unexpected luck and unexpected strength. He's going to feel more confident in himself with that transit that's going to come up with him. That's going to be quite positive. When we go over this side of the chart, he's got Pluto now pretty much on his descendant here. His descendant's in Aquarius. So for him in relationships, he might detach a little bit or find it hard to commit, perhaps, being there in relationships. But I see here to do with the family, it's in Libra. So maybe he's the one in the family who sort of bends over backwards, does things for everybody, sort of likes to please people in the family or doesn't like conflict within the family for him. Okay, he has had money issues. We've seen those court cases. Obviously, that was a big thing. Saturn in that 8th house here. So court cases. Relationships for him over the next, say, 15 years is not going to be easy having Pluto going through the 7th house. He's probably not going to find, say, if I want to say the one. There's going to be a lot of changes through his relationships with this Pluto. It's coming into this 7th house here. But that's Saturn in the 8th, which is it's coming out. Next year it's going to come out and go into the 9th. But there has been money issues with him or more money coming out or hard for him to save. With the 9th house, he just has Neptune going in here. He might be feeling more spiritual, more psychic, perhaps with Neptune in this 9th house for him. Maybe even less trouble, perhaps, that's been coming up than what it usually would be like. Now, I've seen a lot of people with these transits at the moment, with the Chiron coming in the 10th house here. This is pain in his career. He's had some good energy. Chiron in the 10th can be a bit hard. There could be some problems coming up for him when it comes to his work, his career. But because he's born with that Uranus and the Pluto and the Mars in the 2nd, it's not going to be, it won't be as bad if he didn't have that there. So that will help him. But there is some issues that are going to come up over the next, we'll say next about 10 years. It's going to be some issues that are going to come up for him. So that's kind of his transits. I will go to the 2027 so you can see where the planets have moved. And we'll go to when they hit the Uranus and the Mars. So that's going to be around July, August. So we'll go July. Okay, so see, it's not quite yet. So it's going to be more July than August or late August. July, sorry, that when that hits. But he's got the Jupiter in that 2nd house, which is more money. But then up here, we've got that Saturn and Chiron both in that 10th house there. So Saturn's causing him a bit of issues. And when Saturn comes into your house, I find it starts off as like it's little problems that come up. And as it goes through the house, it does get stronger. So by the end of it, you're like, oh, just get this planet out of this damn house. That's how I kind of feel when I've got the Saturn in the houses, depending on which house it's in. But yeah, so Saturn, it's got that there. But at the same time, whatever happens, he is going to get some sort of pay rise. It may not go well, but the pay rise will come to him with that. And we've got that Pluto is definitely in that seventh house now. Got Neptune in the ninth. We got Uranus there in that 11th. Same as eventually when Uranus comes over this sun, it's going to be something unexpected over his life is going to happen to him as well. So yes, that's pretty much an insight to his chart. Just thinking if I've missed anything. He's someone that will be like kind of like Teflon a little bit. Things don't kind of stick to him. Even though because just through these aspects he got with the sun here, even though he's got these squares here. But I will say his life isn't easy. Okay. He's also got opposition between so Saturn and we've got Uranus. So basically it's saying Saturn and Uranus, yeah, they're direct opposite each other. So that can be unexpected problems that come up for him. He doesn't see them coming up too. So stop sharing. So with Johnny Depp, so when I was tuning into him, I just feel like where he's going, it is more about his music. It's more behind the scenes than in front of the scenes, I feel like for him. I'd like behind the camera. I just feel like there's acting roles there for him to do, but he wants to be more behind the scenes. And then also with that Pluto and that Uranus in that second house, I feel like that's why he has played such diverse characters, also being that Gemini character, like Edward Scissorhands. And then we've got Willy Wonka. Like he plays really odd, diverse characters. And I feel like that's the Uranus and the Pluto in that second house. And I dare say I feel like he's gonna make. I don't know if he does this already, but I feel like he's gonna make some sort of like alcohol, like whiskey or gin. I feel like more gin, alcohol beverage as well. Like he's dipping his hand in different avenues of different ways to make money. But I just feel like he wants to be more behind the scenes than in front of them at the moment. And I feel like he loved animals, and I looked up. I did this. I did look up. So I was getting 4 children for him, and I looked it up, and they said he has 2 children. But then I got two, and I could see a dog's face. So I feel like, he's a dog lover, he is an animal lover, and I feel like that his animals are kind of like his children. So to him, it's like the 2 dogs are his children. I kind of feel like, or whatever it be. But I just feel like he's an animal lover. I feel like also he wants to be like less controlled. He wants to be like there's things coming up there. I feel like he wants to be more free. In terms of love, like with the way it is, his relationships with him, it's not a strong point. Someone who's born with like say Venus or Jupiter in the seventh or fifth house, you'll find they've always got people coming through. For them, there's never an endless source of partners when you don't have anything in there. It's a bit different. So let's have a look when it comes to. I'm going to put four. I'll put two. I do 4 rows. The top 2 will be about to his career. The bottom 2 are going to be about relationships. I just feel with relationships, it's hard for him to pick the right person because he's been like it's like for him, it's been burnt too many times. And I do see him meeting someone, but it's an unknown person. It's someone that is not in the limelight. There's someone who's very much like an unknown. We don't really know her. And I do feel like that there is love, but it's because his life is so busy, it's hard to make things stick and make things right. I just really feel like he likes nothing more than, playing an instrument, being around his friends, than with a family kind of setting with him. Let's have a look. Okay, so with the career, it might feel like that he's on it's like his only path, like he's sort of alone here, and that when it comes to work, he's the nurturer. He's trying to help people too along the way, And I really feel like he does have a good heart. Like when we saw him in that Jack Sparrow costume in Australia, and he went to, I think it was a Starlight Foundation, or he went to visit the sick children in the hospital. I do feel like this guy has a good heart. He gets sort of sometimes misjudges people, I kind of feel. But he's got a lot of ideas that it comes up. It's going to come up, yeah, for him. Like there's a lot of like a business ideas. He's got a lot of ideas when it comes to business, to work opportunities. And I want to say that there's a love. He loves what he does in terms of his work. And that even could be a chance of finding love somehow through the work or through someone that he knows professionally. But right now, I feel like he just really wants freedom. He doesn't really want to be tied down to anyone. I feel like he's been burnt a bit too many times. But I feel like he's also very smart. I feel like he's on a bit like on a spiritual path here, but I just feel like with relationships, it's like he's been burnt. I don't think I need to put any more cards out. This will do what I've got. And I just feel like he's more focusing on the work than the relationships at the moment. And about building up wealth and building up money. In the card here, there's a no smoking sign in the card up here. And I feel like that it's perhaps he needs to stop smoking if he's a smoker. Or maybe perhaps he's thinking about stop smoking, perhaps could be coming up for him. And I feel like maybe he's even looking at maybe being a little bit active as well. I feel like he likes being near the water or like Mexico, or I just feel like Mexico, water, beach with him too. But I just feel like he's focused on the money, on the wealth, on his career, and he's establishing different connections. I feel like he's like working around the clock as well, but he's focusing more about what he loves than other things and other avenues as well. But at the same time, wanting that freedom. I just feel like when it comes to relationships, though, for him, it's like it's going to happen when it happens. But I have a feeling it's going to be through his work, through someone that he knows, that this lady's going to be an unknown person. I do feel like she's going to be slim. I do feel like humble. I do feel blonde. I do feel like she's American, but I feel like blonde. I feel like she could be someone, she might not be someone around 40s, maybe late 30s, 40s. Perhaps I'm going to go around 40s and even not so much 50, but 40s. I don't know if it will work out because just with those transits. And I just feel like with the way his lifestyle is, it's quite busy. But he might try again when it's ready. That's what I feel. And I also feel like this person's going to love animals too. And I just also feel like he's building up really good connections with his children. I feel like that there's a movie coming up like behind the scenes where like directing with his children, like his daughter as well. And I still feel like there's going to be one more pirate movie. So I feel like he's going to do one more pirate movie as well. Just one more. I still feel that for him. That could be coming up as well. And I just feel like that, yeah, I think that's about it. What I've got here. I think that's enough. So that was my reading. So this was requested by someone who put in the comments of my other videos for Johnny Depp. So I've done that for this person. If it's a celebrity you want me to look at, I'm thinking of doing Oprah Winfrey and even Justin Bieber, I think would be an interesting chart to look at. So if you want me to do a chart reading on a celebrity or anyone in particular, put it in the comment section. I will do it when I've got time. And other than that, thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments. And I will see you. I will also say quickly, he only listens to anyone but his cards just to myself. And my cards are just like, he only listens to anyone but himself as well. At the end of the day, he makes the final say. And I feel like he's very much likes to be in control of what's happening around, which says that Capricorn moon. I am someone with that Capricorn moon. I can see exactly, I'm a little bit the same. Okay. But I just get tired of relationships at the moment. Okay, as well. I feel like also, and I'm going back into the reading space because I'm just getting more information now, but he's very open to spirituality. Like he's very open to like, I feel like contacting the other side when it comes to like family members. I just feel like he's open to spirits or opening to like going to see like mediums or someone like myself. I feel like he finds it very interesting. And I feel like he may be a regular user of that, but he wouldn't be like using it like a Tyler Henry TV show. He'd be someone more, someone's going to be more behind the scenes, I feel like, with certain parts of his life. Like he'll show so much, but then other parts it's for him as well. But I just feel like burnt too many times relationships. But there is one that will come in, a little stick. We won't go there until we find out whatever happens. But and even like dreams, like I feel like he does a lot of dreaming with when it comes to like loved ones and things going into his dreams. Like I feel like he's quite spiritual and quite intuitive as well. Okay, so I think that's it now. All right, so thank you for your likes, shares, and comments, and I'll see you for my next video. So bye for now.